When questioned about the potential of breaking policy promises pre-election, Tony Abbott said this.
Commitments.
It will be pressure that I will resist. I will defy, because I want to be known as a politician, as a Prime Minister. Should I get elected, should I be elected on the 7th of September, I want to be known as a Prime Minister who keeps commitments.
So why did over 10,000 Australians protest in Sydney today, joining tens of thousands across the country participating in the March in May events?
We're shockingly opposed to the Abbott government's policies around refugees and asylum seekers. We find it just disgraceful, mandatory offshore processing. It's a crime locking kids up.
He lied. He got in last election saying he'd leave most of the things that he's actually tore the guts out of in, and he's lied about that. He's told us now, all of a sudden we find out with the new budget, that everything that he said before the election was just a pack of lies.
And I've lived in Millers Point for 30 years and they want us to move because he likes it, and that should be only for rich people, sorry.
Sort of representing the youth, because the youth people who didn't get to vote last time, we're all angry and we want to raise our voices and sort of say that we're not happy with what's going on in the government.
I'm here because I come from an underprivileged family, and our family's always been underprivileged, and I don't think it's right that nobody, I believe that everyone should have equal rights to education and health and stuff, and I have a lot of mental problems, so I need free access to healthcare and stuff, and I need to go to the doctor all the time, and I just need, what they're doing just isn't right.
Enough's enough. We can't afford to lose any more forestry. Global warming is happening. It is real. It is a reality. There's no jobs on a dead planet, and there's going to be no economy on a dead planet. So this needs to stop now. For him to say that it's just weeds, he needs to be locked up.
They've cut budget by $7.9 billion and yet wasting $8.3 billion on locking up refugees. Complete conflict of what they're saying they value, and just a waste of money in one area and a complete lack of useful money where it should be going in another area.
Even drivers were happy about the heavy traffic.
We're just overwhelmed with the support. It's amazing. I've done so many marches, and this is a huge turnout. So we're not marching, but this is our support.
Speakers represented the diversity among the thousands who formed a coalition determined to influence change.
And we said right at the beginning they did to refugees what they would do to pensioners and to the unemployed. And we said that many years ago, and that is exactly where we have got today. Abbott thinks he got away with, he thought about treating refugees that way. Now he thinks he can take it out on the rest of them.
We know who you are, Tony Abbott. We know what you stand for. You're a liar, a wrecker, and a divider of our society. Stop you. Now, friends and defenders of a fairer Australia, we must do two things. We must unite and we must fight.
We will not let down the young people of this country. We will not condemn them to 6 months of no income if they're unlucky enough to be unemployed. We will not encourage a criminal class of young people who are trying to survive. We are not going to make old age in this country a punishment. We are going to support our elders and our seniors into a comfortable old age. We are not going to foster fear. We are not going to foster division. We stand with Aboriginal Australians to protect their rights.
Let me share with you what I believe this government wants. This government wants all of us to feel lonely, to feel isolated. This is how they want us to feel. They want us to feel powerless. But my friends, you are among friends, here and all around Australia. And friends, we are strong. My friends, think about what people power has accomplished in Australia's long history. It is because of the power and determination of the Australian people that the Great Barrier Reef was not drilled for oil in the 1970s. because of the power and determination of the Australian people that the Franklin was not damned.
So what did Mr. Abbott lie about? Well, before the election he said, "As health minister in a former government, I used to say that the government was the best friend Medicare ever had. This leopard doesn't change its spots, and I want this government, likewise, to be the best friend Medicare has ever had." In the budget, $7 co-payment to visit a GP and a reduction of $1.8 billion in hospital funding over 4 years. What about education? Before the election, as far as school funding is concerned, Kevin Rudd and I are on a unity ticket. There is no difference between Kevin Rudd and myself when it comes to school funding. In the budget, effective freezing of school funding from 2017 and the end of Gonski reforms. Senior Australians, before the election, there will be no changes to the pension. In the budget, raise of pension age to 70 by 2035. Changed method pension is indexed from 2017. Instead of considering inflation, living costs, and average male weekly earnings, the government will only consider inflation. And what about this?
But no one's personal tax will go up and no one's fortnightly pension or benefit will go down. Should the coalition win the election, there will be no nasty surprises and there'll be no lame excuses.
Sure, payments for those eligible may not go down. However, the government will introduce a forced 6-month waiting period for those people aged under 26. They will then have to work for less than minimum wage to receive dole payments, and if unable to gain employment in 6 months' time, their payments will be cut for another 6 months.
If you're under 30 and you're poor, you've basically just it's been handed to you, man. You know, I lose my job now, I'm under 30, I gotta wait 6 months till I get it, anything. I only get it for 6 months and it's taken away again. And I'm not worried about me, man, I'm worried about the people that are actually poor, that need help, and we're taking away from them. And it just guts me, man, so God help them. God loves them.
What you haven't explained is how you can make one promise in 1 month and then completely change it the next. What happened in that month where you had this sudden explosion of vision?
Again, Kerry, people will make their own judgments about me, and if
no,
they...
but I'd like you to explain it.
Yeah.
Well, you know, Tony Abbott feels with conviction we will not have a new tax. In any way, shape or form, we won't have a new tax. A month later, you do.
Well, you know, again, Kerry, I know politicians are going to be judged on everything they say, but sometimes in the heat of discussion, you go a little bit further than you would if it was an absolutely calm, considered, prepared, scripted remark, which is one of the reasons why the statements that need to be taken absolutely as gospel truth is those carefully prepared, scripted remarks.
So every time you make a statement, we have to ask you whether it's carefully prepared and scripted or whether it's just something on the fly.
Look, we
no, seriously, this is a very serious question.
But all of us, Kerry, all of us, when we're in the heat of verbal combat, so to speak, will sometimes say things that go a little bit further.
Mr. Abbott, we're not all leaders of major political parties who are either Prime Minister...
Reporting for Arif Khan Media.